Witbier, Belgian Witbier. It is the aptly numbered 007 version of Liability's The 12 series. Or Moneypenny, why don't we find out what planning to be spontaneous, the latest Bond film, is all about, right after the theme song. Welcome back into the Midland Studio as per usual with your host, Nutmeg 2 Palmetto. Well, we won't be shaking this beer or stirring it, but it is the 7th version, 007, of Liability's 12 series. I'm rocking my OG Sexy Shane's Craft Beer Review shirt. And shout out to Shane for helping me out with that animation you saw up at the top of the video, because I may be a video guy, but I hate graphics, so I am more than grateful of anyone willing to fall on the old animation grenade for me. Anyway, number 7 is a Belgian Witbier. It checks in at 5.2 alcohol percentage, which is confirmed on the can. It is the standard 12 logo on the front, the Mortal Wombat face in the center. Brewed in collaboration with Julia Beaudoin. Well, I apologize if I butchered that. Has the signatures on the bottom. Julia's signature as well as Jeremy's. I think Jared and somebody else's appears. So, planning to be spontaneous. Well, James Bond is a rather spontaneous guy, is he not? Despite the fact that he's a spy and he's gotta plan some things out. Bond movies never go according to plan, right? Relatively low, really low amount of check-ins. Again, that's been common with these since they are limited release. 77 total, 55 unique, 51 of which are ranked for a very respectable 3.88 global ranking. Brewed in collaboration with Julia Beaudoin. Aroma, bread dough, citrus, and banana pudding. Flavor, orange rind, honey, noble spice. The additions they threw in are bitter orange peel and coriander. Looking at the colors, it's got a nice haze. One picture's got a nice haze to it. A couple other pictures are look a little more thinner or clear. So why don't we see how it's going to stack up and not waste any more time. Wow, threw some shaklook all over the place. Nice and clear, huh? Oh, look at that upside down snowfall. Nice little bubbly cascade coming up. I can already smell some kind of Belgian yeast, Pilsner malt almost kind of aroma. It's extremely clear. I can see the drink local on the other side of the glass. You should be able to see the shadows of my fingers fairly clearly. It's very clear beer. I don't know what this one picture of it looking particularly hazy, because it is definitely, I mean, it's definitely cloudy, but it is, I wouldn't necessarily call hazy. I think there's definitely a fine line between hazy and cloudy. And now, to me, first of all, it's very subtle. Extremely subtle. And it was, I'm not getting any kind of bread note. Although, it didn't say bread, they said bread dough. So maybe, I mean, maybe it's a little doughy, but it's so subtle. Same thing with the banana. Wasn't smelling that at first at all. But every once in a while, I get a little hint of kind of a sweet banana. What I got at first was just all citrus. It almost smelled like a session IPA as opposed to a Belgian. What I do get every once in a while, though, is more of a spice note. Is that coriander? Probably that's probably what I am noticing the most after that initial burst of citrus brightness. Yeah, but it's very subtle. It's hard to. You can definitely pick them up, but it's very hard to pick them up. So let's find out what the flavor's like. Yeah. Ooh. I'm a big fan of that. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Shout out Blue Ice. That's I want to deep dive on this one because this is very good. It's not really the rindy taste. I don't really get that. I do get the honey a lot. There's a big, strong, present honey flavor in this. The first couple sips, I will say, the coriander, that spice, was a lot more easier to pick up. It does have a rather bready mouthfeel. It's fairly in between light and medium. It's not so heavy that it's not out of the range of crushable, but it's not so light that it's gonna be wham bam slam it down. I mean, I think I just made that one up. Whatever. But yeah, I think it's a lot of the honey. It has a bready mouthfeel, and the spices, the coriander, come through quite a bit, and quite nice. I was so intrigued by the banana pudding. I didn't care whether it's in aroma or flavor. Was so excited by that, and I'm really not getting that. Other than a very subtle trace on the aroma. But that being said, I'm not upset by this at all. I'm not someone that runs after beers with honey or beers that describe. Well, I don't think it necessarily has honey, but they're describing it as honey. And I'm not someone that goes after the flavor notes of honey. So for something to describe itself as honey, for me to pick that up and like it says a lot. I think they did a very good job of making that work with the flavor, because I do find honey to be a very polarizing flavor note. And that just works. That really does work. It's kind of it's almost okay. It's a little warmer now. I mean, obviously didn't get too warm in 20 seconds, but as it does start to warm up, whether that's from my hands on the glass or being close to my face or whatever the case may be, I am starting to get more of a traditional Belgian hef type of profile, but it definitely still has some attributes of like a session or something like that. But it is very good, super crushable, super refreshing, really light. Despite not being like so light that it just drinks like water, it is very light, very nice. If you thought I was very nice and you like what I do, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. And if you're watching on Rumble, go ahead and smash that follow button so you can follow along on there as well. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to see more styles like this, head on down to the comments. The first one pinned has a link to a playlist of other Belgian style or wheat beers that I've done in the past. And until the next time, great one, Liability. Cheers to the rest of you folks.